Shalom everybody folks! Today we delve into the upcoming crypto bull run and how it aligns with the big monetary reset and how the new OpenAI called Q-Star will be used for it. Remember, if you see the truth of this video, don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button. So let's first rewind to October 31st of 2008. When the Bitcoin white paper by Satoshi Nakamoto emerged, proposing a decentralized electronic cash system. This groundbreaking idea surfaced during the 2008 financial crisis, challenging the trust in traditional financial systems and introducing a resilient, decentralized alternative to fiat money. Remember the famous words of Meyer Amschel Rothschild of 1838 about controlling a nation's money? I care not who controls a nation's political affairs, so long as I control her currency. Fast forward to 2008. Governments worldwide respond to the great financial crisis by printing an actual whopping 25 trillion, yes folks with a T, and by October 2023, global debt is on its way to Mars at 307 trillion US dollars. And we have seen the IMF folks testing what is possible in recent times about the dire consequences of excessive debt. In Argentina's Corralito, Greece bailout of French and German banks, and Cyprus bail-in, to name just a few. Now, debt is still rising, and if you just look at this graph, you will see a lot of countries in deep red who face extreme debt issues. With rising interest rates, many countries like Lebanon, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Turkey, Pakistan and Sudan are surviving on the edge, mirroring Sri Lanka's situation. Remember that, folks? These nations borrowed heavily from entities like the IMF, World Bank, even from China with its One Belt, One Road idea, or from major banks like JP Morgan Chase, Barclays and Citigroup. Defaulting third world countries, thus endangering the first world countries, institutions and banks. There seems no way out from this debt growth trap. Corralitas, bailout, bail-ins, whatever, offer no solution. What can be done by governments and financial institutions to save their skin? Historically, governments have always resolved debt crises through wars, defaults, or forced to do so by revolutions. But in global economy, a world war poses at too many risks, and a revolution is a little bit undesired as well. Luckily, there's a plan. So what's the plan? It starts with creating panic to make people accept a new system, as seen during the COVID pandemic. Let's hear it from the planners themselves.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
Now is the time to think what history would say about this crisis. And now is the time for all of us to define our own role. What is it that would make it so that history would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset?
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need.
The world's problems fit on three sides of a triangle. It's one versus many, man versus nature, and the unfortunate foundation is long-term versus short-term.
We had already income inequality that was fueling income, race, gender inequality. We have a climate emergency, which we can't walk away from. There's no doubt that the very survival of the human race requires us to act.
Any recovery stimulus should have green conditions attached to it. Energy prices should reflect real costs.
You need private sector capital, private sector ingenuity, private sector technology, and private sector capabilities to come to the party. You need enormous trust between the private sector and the public sector for this to actually work.
We have to change our economies dramatically in the next 20 or 30 years, and the next 10 years is absolutely decisive.
The recovery has to be greener than any of the previous recoveries. And in order to do that, we need to ensure that the stimulus package, including fiscal and monetary, are much greener than they were before. So we cannot waste this opportunity to ensure that the very precious money that's raised from the next generation is spent on green and low carbon.
We will now start a quite high number of task forces to look at all the different issues, and we will present all those ideas to the people assembled in Davos. But at the same time, we will make Davos very different, very open, to ensure that we do not fall back to old recipes, but that we really look at forward-oriented solutions.
You heard it right, folks. Also, governments want more control and therefore favor a cashless society. And therefore you need a digital currency, but under their control. Not like a decentralized Bitcoin. And blockchain is the ideal technology for this. This brings us to the central thesis of this video: gaining control over the crypto world. So crypto is now tested in real life and produces things like Silk Road and FTX, but also a very successful Bitcoin. Therefore, targeting crypto exchanges is an important part of the overall strategy. If people can only buy crypto through government-regulated exchanges, control becomes feasible. Control one and have the other ones in line. Just look at Binance, Kraken. For example, Coinbase, the only big exchange left in the US, is already connected by a regulated financial world, and the other ones are under scrutiny. Additionally, using the crypto industry to develop a central bank digital currency, a so-called CBDC, is crucial. Here comes XRP and its parent company Ripple around the corner. With its financial world connections, could play a vital role here. And as you see where some of its board members come from, and scoring one central bank after another as client, just look on how it works. Ripple is still under the control of the SIC with some legal shit, but already has the IMF on board, it seems, if you see the complicity in the next video.
All right, with that, we'll turn it over to questions, and I see a bunch of questions on this screen, which I can't really read from here, but we're supposed to pick some. You want to take one? Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things. I don't want to go into great details about
Maybe
the IMF.
I should take what the IMF is going to do. I think we stunned Ross into silence with that one.
For that to happen, okay, under the current legal framework, some country would have to use a crypto asset as its currency.
The next step is mainstream crypto acceptance. Gen Z and millennials are already on board of this train, but Gen X and boomers are next. Enter the influence of financial giants like BlackRock, with other hedge fund giants like Grayscale and ARK's Cathie Woods. They have filed with Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF at SIC, opening the way for institutional investors like pension funds to get it accepted and raise the price a lot. So the public now knows crypto is controlled by the financial world and governments. Yeah, folks, you heard it right. the general public and all, as Bitcoins hits $1 million and altcoins going through the roof. The step from Bitcoin to crypto euro or crypto dollar is then almost taken. Yes, another big scare is needed. Here comes the rise of the machines lurking around the corner, folks. If you just followed the news open, AI CEO Sam Altman of the last days, you know that the rise of artificial and general intelligence, particularly the development of Q-Star, hints at the nearby future where a significant portion of the electorate will become redundant. Yeah, folks, you heard it correct. Redundant. With the fear of income loss looming, the idea of a universal basic income becomes more and more appealing, fitting neatly into the big reset narrative. Of course, paid by your local governments in your local cryptocurrency, dollar, euro, pound, or renminbi. So now you know the plan, just play the game.
There will come a point where no job is needed. You can have a job if you want to have a job for sort of personal satisfaction, but the AI will be able to do everything. So I don't know if that makes people comfortable or uncomfortable. And we won't have universal basic income, we'll have universal high income.
But it's a game and we're all just pawns, chasing dreams but the cost is never gone. Care about happiness but it's sure come back time. Are we really living? Just walking by. It's the root of our outfit, building walls, hiding smiles through the tears. Is it worth the price we pay, sacrifices we made? Money to gain.